We have got the 15 interesting habits of the wealthiest people.
15 interesting habits.
Yes, what can you do to be a little bit more like Jeff Bezos?
Welcome to the closing table with the Money Guys, Sidney Young and Jared Parrish. This episode is being brought to you by Allura Financial, AlluraFinancial.com, your source for real estate investment funding. Now, presenting the Money Guys. All right. Welcome to Closing Table with the Money Guys. My name's Sidney Young.
And Jared Parrish.
We're the Money Guys. We got your money. This show is being brought to you by Allura Financial, AlluraFinancial.com. Read it on the screen.
Right up there.
JP, guess what? Well, here we are in downtown Houston. Downtown Houston, not outtown, downtown.
Uptown?
And it's been raining a lot today, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been rather moist, yes.
But it does not rain on our parade. No, it doesn't.
No, we didn't have a parade in the first place.
I know, but if we were to have one, the rain wouldn't affect it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out. We got a lot going on at Allura Financial. Coming up this Sunday, if you're in the greater Houston area, between the hours of 4 and 5 p.m. on Sunday, Jared, what's happening?
You can hear us live on AM 1070, The Answer.
The Answer. AM 1070, The Answer.
Yes.
You listen to the Money Guys. We got the this podcast, which is going to be a live radio show, the Closing Table with the Money Guys. And we have Wealthstar Mortgage on as our guest, which is WEALTH Star Mortgage with Carlos Landano.
For those of you who are good with spelling, yes, that is Wealthstar.
And then we have E.L. Crane, who's going to come on and talk about some real estate stuff for the second half of the show. It's a
for
1 hour
all you
show.
Realtors out there, he is the master trainer.
He's the master of something. I love E.L. E.L.'s been in radio many, many years. I've known him for 20 plus years. He has a Real Estate U show on another station.
And an incredible professional in the industry.
Yes, he is. He'd say the same about us, wouldn't he?
I would hope so.
Yeah, we'd pay him. But anyway. So anyway, tune in 1070 a.m. this Sunday between hours of 4 and 5 for the Closing Table with the Money Guys, and listen live.
Tune in.
Now, we do that every Sunday, 2 hours of 4 and 5. We also do this podcast. We try to sneak it in twice a week. Sometimes life gets busy around here.
Yeah, I do want to apologize to everyone. We have not been following the schedule as best as we want to. Things have been a little crazy.
Which way are you? Oh, you're that way.
I'm over here now.
You'll be here.
But we are going to be getting back on track, even though we are adding the radio show on top of it. But we're going to make sure that we continue to deliver the wonderful information and entertainment times.
And we're going to talk about what we got this show's featured about. I want to mention something. Can I mention something?
I don't think either one of us can really talk today.
Man, it must be something we drank. Did you slip me a Mickey? Probably did. We had a lunch meeting. I think you slipped me a Mickey. The youngsters are going, what's a Mickey?
Right.
Hey, check it out, though. With things the way they are in real estate throughout the state of Texas, short of inventory, things are changing, though. There's funds out there that are very creative. We now have partnered with a fund that will allow owner financing on owner-occupied homes.
Yes. So for those of you who want to own a home, maybe you're self-employed, maybe you do make good money, but Uncle Sam doesn't know that you do because you're just slippery like that.
You're a slippery sleever.
Yes, you can you could buy a home owner financed. Buy any home that you want owner financed.
You need to put at least 20% down on it.
Like you do on a lot of conventional loans now.
Your qualifications for this owner finance program is showing that you got the 20% put down and you can make the payments. We're not going to pull income tax returns, all that other stuff.
There's no credit check even.
No credit check. Now, it's a 30-year loan. You can stay at 9.9% interest.
On the high end.
Right. It may be lower. It may be lower. But you can stay in this loan for 30 years. It'd be insane to do so. But while you get through the giddy-up in life that's got you in that position, you can refi out of that deal.
Yes, you can. Or if you don't have an issue with income or proving any of that, or no issues with credit or whatever the hell, and you do want to buy a home, you can go to Wealthstar Mortgage, wealthstarmortgage.com.
Tell Theo Carlos.
We
sent you.
Theo Carlos.
He's going to be on our show on 1070 every Sunday doing the mortgage rate update.
Yeah, tune in for that. So we do have a good show today. Typically, we try to bring you some good information. We try to deliver some funny information. And today, we're going to give you some tips and tricks.
Tips and tricks.
Yeah, tips and tricks. So today, have got the 15 interesting habits of the wealthiest people.
15 interesting habits.
Yes. What can you do to be a little bit more like Jeff Bezos?
Not a whole lot.
I've already started with the haircut, and it's going well.
Okay, how many billions is he worth today?
He is currently worth $192 billion.
If he went to the bank, he said, "You know what, guys? I'd like to close out my account. Can I get cash back?"
Yeah.
Like
all ones, okay?
Think about it. No, on a realistic,
We're going to make it rain.
Think about that. If he said, "I want it in cash and $100 bills," first off, it would take him a month to print up all that money.
At least.
And then you need like 10 U-Haul trucks just to haul it away.
Yeah. I wonder how much he'd pay the U-Haul drivers.
Oh, one truck may stray a little. Where's he going?
Right? I know. So today we're going to be talking about the 15 interesting habits of the wealthiest people in the world. So this was based off of an article written by Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey is a financial consultant. He has radio shows, podcasts, things like that. And he talks to you about personal finance. Now, what he teaches is about saving money, getting out of debt. Now, a lot of people confuse personal and business debt. So what he typically teaches is about your personal finances and how to avoid debt, how to cut corners so this way you can live tomorrow. Well, what was it? You can, if you do what no one will do today.
If you do today what others won't, you can do tomorrow what others can't.
Yes. Thank you very much for that.
Yes.
So, for one, let's start with the number one on the list. And this is something that he put together, and we've just kind of edited it and added some of our own little flair. But he starts out with junk food. 70% of the wealthy eat less than 300 junk food calories per day, while 97% of poor people eat more than 300 calories of junk food per day. If you don't feed yourself well, you don't feel well, and you can't think well. And that makes it hard to have energy and focus to pursue your goals. There's actually a lot of truth in that.
Think and grow rich.
Think and grow rich is a big one. But there's a lot of truth to that. Yeah. You know, when you eat like shit, you feel like shit.
Well, and realistically, here's another thing. If you're struggling financially, you're probably not worrying about the content you put in your mouth. You're probably happy to have some content to put in your mouth.
And oddly enough, when you are stressed, you're typically putting...
It's time to grab the ice cream.
Yeah, ice cream. I'm bad at raw cookie dough. Dude. That's a weakness for me.
Don't even get me going to this crap. Man, where's my chicken when I need it?
Right? KFC or Popeyes?
No, that chicken.
Ah, gotcha. So next one, and this is a big one in real estate investment, but we're not talking about real estate investment on this particular one. This is gambling. Number 2 is gambling. 23% of the wealthy people in the world gamble, and 52% of poor people gamble.
Wow.
Now, people making less than $13,000 a year spend 9% of their income on lottery tickets.
Really?
There's a reason the lottery is called...
Those are big numbers.
Those are big numbers. There's a reason the lottery is called the fool's tax. Now, there's nothing wrong with buying the occasional lottery ticket for fun or setting aside a certain amount of money so you can afford to go on a trip to Vegas. But if you're spending 9% of your income on gambling, you will never be rich.
Dude, I don't even remember last time I bought a lottery ticket.
It's probably been at least 2 or 3 years.
I suck at gambling.
But you know what? If you don't buy a ticket,
you can't
win.
Play, you can't win. That's life. You
life.
Can't win if you don't play.
Yeah. I like Wayne Gretzky's quote is, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
You know, I love gambling, the concept, because we gamble in business all the time.
That's exciting.
It's exciting, the unknown. It's not about the actual win. It's about the unknown.
It is, yes, and that part is exciting. But one thing that you just said is, in business, you're gambling. It's not as bad as casinos because the odds are always against you. But when you're in business, yes, there is a risk. There is some level of gamble. Yeah. But the odds, you need to set it up to where the odds are in your favor. You know, remember on last show we were talking about getting emotional in the sale and learning when to walk away, and this is a big part of it. You don't want your business to be a gamble. You want your business to be a calculated risk.
Yeah, I like that. But even a calculated risk, we've done some deals that we don't know we're going to be able to close on.
Yeah.
And
we gambled.
We gambled, and we said, man, we're going to freaking lose that. And then we end up getting a deal, and we go, there's such a humongous rush when you win on that stuff.
Oh, yes. And and how bad of a kick in the balls is it when it doesn't go through?
Yeah, dude, I go in depression for days.
Yep. Very true. Number 3 on the list is singular goals. 80% of the wealthy are focused on accomplishing some single goals. Only 12% of poor people do this. Wealthy people have a goal, not just a vague goal, but a clearly defined and planned to achieve goal. It's great that you want to quit your job and start your own business, but if you have no plan of action to make it happen, it's not really a goal, it's just a daydream.
That's very true. And once you reach that vehicle that's taking you to where you want to go, Dream Boy here, which I love this guy. Anyway, he has a board up there, and he had pictures of house, a motorcycle, all this stuff. He's already accomplished 2 of those on there. He bought the motorcycle identical to the one on that board.
Yeah. Now, to me, because I mean, we do a lot of consulting with what we do. I mean, we're not just mortgage brokers. We're not just we don't just take orders from people and just say, oh, hey, I want to refinance this house. Oh, okay. We typically ask them why. We do a lot of consulting, and that's why we have the repeat business that we do.
Yep.
Now, we've talked to people, and you've heard me ask this question before. When we ask them, how much money, what's your goal? What's your end goal? How much money do you want to make? And they may come back with something, $250,000 a year or $500,000 a year. Now, let's say, for instance, if they're selling life insurance policies, okay? And they say, well, I want to make $500,000 a year. And I ask them, how many policies is it going to take for you to make that? And they have no answer.
And that's not realistic.
No, it's not. It's not difficult to set up your roadmap in order to get there. You just have to break out the pad and pen and start writing it down. Put pen to paper and figure out, all right, if I make on average $1,500 per deal and I want to make $250,000 a year, how many deals do I have to close?
And that's one of the reasons why real estate is such a lucrative vehicle to take those goals. Because when you do a real estate deal, you don't make hundreds, you make thousands at a time.
Yeah. And truth be told, Arnold Schwarzenegger was actually a millionaire before he got into the movies.
Really?
He was a millionaire by the age of 22 or 23. Now, he went to the University of Wisconsin and got his degree in business and economics. And while he was there, he was doing bodybuilding competitions, but back then it didn't really pay too much. And he was also working construction for a day-to-day job.
Oh, wow.
Now, he took his winnings from all the bodybuilding competitions that he was doing, and he invested that into real estate. He started focusing on multifamily units.
Nice.
By the age of 22 or 23, I can't remember, it was in an article, he was, on paper, he was a millionaire.
Damn.
Now, and I say on paper, it just means he was worth over
why?
$1 million.
Every time he did a deal, he'd go to the closing, he said, I'll be back.
Yes, and they believed
another
him.
deal.
And they believed him. They believed in him, too.
Where's my chicken?
All right,
somebody feed those chickens.
All right, feed the chicken. Number 4 is exercise. 76% of wealthy exercise aerobically 4 days a week.
Yeah.
Only 23% of poor people do this. Exercising goes hand in hand with eating well. Regular exercise helps boost your mood and energy. It helps control weight. I've got an issue with that, so I've been exercising. Makes you sleep better, makes sex better. Exercise is especially important for those of us who have sedentary jobs, like the money guys over here.
That's right.
Sitting all day is terrible for you, and while exercise doesn't offset it entirely, it would be worse if you were doing no exercise.
I think we burn more calories if we put our feet on our desk.
That does help.
Yeah,
that does help, especially with lower back pain.
Yeah, especially when you fall asleep. What's that noise?
But exercise, it gives you a little bit more energy during the day. It helps me think.
Yeah.
It gets rid of a lot of that excess stress, especially if you do it in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't know. The day seems to go better. So number 5 on the list, we've got audiobooks. 63% of wealthy listen to audiobooks during the commute to and from work. Only 5% of poor people do this. Okay. So this one's sort of weird. I get it. So we'll put this in kind of our own spin. Listening to something like an audiobook or a podcast, kind of like Closing Table with Money Guys. This is so much more beneficial than listening to wacky antics of the 99.5 Morning Zoo. Listening to something educational, like the Money Guys, or something inspirational, will actually bring a little bit more value into your life.
And this is proven. I'll tell you how and why, so to speak. When we're doing the radio show thing, the radio show has demographics showing income levels for people that listen to the show.
Yep.
Most people listen to informational talk radio seem to have a higher income.
Yes, they do. Actually, it's number one for those who make over $200,000 a year.
Yeah.
Which is a goal for some. So
yeah.
Now, the point of this is to use the time to listen to something that will feed your brain financially rather than listening to morning DJs make prank phone calls.
This, hit it. Now, guess what? Here's not a prank phone call. These people are no longer in business. We'll be right back.
Hi, I just want to make a deposit.
You have your account number?
Right here.
Lean forward, please.
What is this?
It's our new customer tracking system. It has your account number and barcode. Speeds you right through the line.
Now what?
That line over there.
Feel like banks are getting a bit impersonal? Try Washington Mutual. We're building our bank around you because we never forget it's your money.
It's a holdup.
I hate it when these things don't scan.
Washington Mutual.
Maybe somebody should have did a prank phone call, and then someone would have answered, and they'd have still been in business.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are talking about
the 15 interesting habits of the wealthy.
Ooh, please bring me the gray poupon.
Right? I mean, who doesn't want to look like? Wait, no. I guess no one wants to look like what's Microsoft guy?
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates. Yeah.
You know what?
I'm surprised he wasn't.
He doesn't look in the mirror. He looks at his bank account and suddenly looks better.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
it's a fugazi, a fugazi.
It's a wuzzy, it's a woozy. Yeah. So number 6 on the list today is the to-do list. 81% of the wealthy maintain a to-do list versus 19% of poor people only do to-do lists. That kind of.
Here's the difference, because most people that are 9-to-5ers aren't extremely rich. To do is to get up and go to work.
No, there's a lot more to your everyday things to do. You've got a lot more stuff to handle on outside of work. So you've got bills to pay. You've got to drop off the dry cleaning, or you've got to go pick this up, or you got this bill to pay, or you've got to handle this, or you got to run to the. There's a lot of things to do. But with the people who are motivated that want to increase their level financially, they are going to have a lot of to-dos. Maybe it's a side gig. Maybe they're working a side job. Maybe they're brand new into real estate investment. They want to get started. They're going to have a huge to-do list.
Yeah.
So, way it's written in the article, it says, always make a to-do list before you go to bed at night. That was actually a big change for me because I had to start doing that. Typically, when I wake up in the morning, I can't remember anything. It's I wake up in La La Land. It helps keep intrusive thoughts out of your head. I need to remember to cancel my dentist appointment. I need to call the bank about that odd charge on my credit card. You want to lay in bed. You don't want to lay in bed thinking about that stuff. Write it down, and it gets it out of your mind. I think that's a big one.
Yeah, it is.
So
sure.
We'll give that little chick-ching on that one. He likes the chicken. So number 7, non-fiction reading. 63% of wealthy parents make their children read 2 or more nonfiction books a month versus 3% of poor people do that.
Wow.
Now, I think this goes back into using your free time to educate yourself. I prefer nonfiction and always have, but I think that there is something to be learned from nearly everything you read, even if it's just learning a new word. The trick to enjoying nonfiction is to find a subject that you really find interesting and dive deep. Reading nonfiction often becomes a rabbit hole because one book tends to lead to another because they typically talk about other people or other books or other stories. Now, I'm on board with this one 100%. I really enjoy reading nonfiction. I like learning stuff. I always have.
I read Grant Cardone.
Yeah, but I love learning the true stories. I mean, even if it's not, how to get rich or how to do this or how to do something like that. I love reading stories that were true because it's better than nonfiction because nonfiction, it wasn't true. It's just a story. But when you hear an outlandish story, about this guy's, survived whatever, and
that's why I dream up these kooky ideas. And one day they're going to have a cemetery with a tombstone, and you walk up to the tombstone, you scan the tombstone, that little thing, and it pops up and tells the story of that person's life.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be cool. Yeah. A lot better than mine. It's just going to say, I told you.
Patent that idea. Anyway.
So number 8, volunteer work. Yeah. 70% of wealthy parents make their children volunteer 10 hours or more a month versus 3%. Now, volunteering is proven to increase happiness, and it's happiness that didn't cost you anything. It's a valuable lesson that you don't have to spend money to be happy. Volunteering is also a good way to make connections that might work for you in the future. It can help teach social skills and give you a sense of purpose. All right, so we've talked about my volunteer work. I really enjoy mine.
Baka.
Love it. Baka.
He's a biker, and it's a Bikers Against Child Abuse. They help out children.
It's very self-rewarding. I mean, I love the work that we do there. I've met a lot of people that it's turned out to benefit the business as well. That's not why you go into it, but it's turned out like that. You've met a lot of people with different things that you've done, and getting out there and talking to people, networking is huge, and volunteering is a wonderful way to do that. But volunteering is also self-rewarding. If you feel better and if you're happier, you're going to work better.
You are. We always do. I mean, here's the thing. One day, wake up and say, today is the day. I'm going to start exercising today. I'm going to research how to do real estate on the side. I'm going to make a decision that as of Monday, I'm going to kickstart my $13 DBA and start my own business.
Yeah.
Make a decision. That's the hardest part, and then do it. And don't expect it to happen overnight. Oh, my God.
No, that's different.
Allure Financial went through so many, I make this gesture, so many times in the very beginning where me and Jerry said, man, I don't know about this, but we're both gamblers. And we said, man, we're going to do this. You know,
we're risk takers.
Risk takers.
Let's call it that. Because I never gamble at a casino.
But anyway, that's my speech. Go ahead.
So number 9, we've got happy birthday. 80% of wealthy people make happy birthday calls versus 11% of poor people. A lot of people have been falling into the automation of Facebook and
text messaging.
Hey, it pops up so-and-so's birthday, and then you just it'll automatically send them a happy birthday.
You don't really care, but yeah.
Now, this one probably has to do with having close personal relationships. People who have connections to other people are happier, and when you're happier, you're more successful. Remembering birthdays of those close to you is an important way to foster a relationship. Don't use Facebook automation. Make it sincere. Make the phone call. So I think that's a big one.
Yeah, it is.
Number 10, we kind of touched on this a little earlier, but write down your goals. 67% of wealthy write down their goals versus 17% of poor people. It's proven that if you write down your goals, you're more likely to achieve them. The act of writing things down helps to keep them in the forefront of our minds. It takes a step further and breaks down your goals into things that you can do this week, today, this month, this year. And it helps you reach that goal step by step. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
Spoonful at a time.
So writing down each bite makes things a little bit more manageable. A lot of us have lofty goals, but we don't know how to get there. And then once it looks a little bit too daunting, it looks too huge, then we quit. We pull out way too fast because we don't know how to get there.
And speaking of goals, my goal is to have you check out Allure Financial. So watch this commercial. We'll be right back.
Want to know one of the secrets to real estate? Getting to the finish line first. Because there is no profit in second place. Allure Financial can now close your fix and flip in 1 to 2 business days. No more appraisal fees or waiting time. There's still no credit check required. We can now finance up to 85% of your purchase and rehab. Call us right now at 833-896-6639 and get to the finish line first with Allure Financial.
That's Allure Financial, AllureFinancial.com.
So number 11 on the list today is read. 88% of wealthy read 30 minutes or more each day for education or career reasons versus 2% of poor. So the reading thing is getting a little repetitive. I get that. But reading is important. If you want the most bang from your buck, read a book.
Where's my chicken?
read something that you can learn from. Maybe you want to learn to be rich. Maybe you want to learn how to crochet. Maybe you want to learn something else. Learning new things makes you happier, but learning as much as you can, read a book.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. All right.
All right. So number 12, bite your tongue.
Oh, I can't do that.
I know. I know you can. 6% of wealthy say what's on their mind versus 69% of poor people run their mouth. Okay? Sometimes it pays to bite your tongue.
That's damn right.
Is boss being a dick? Don't call your boss a dick. Customer making unreasonable demands? Don't tell them to go get bent. It's important to pick your battles. Sometimes you just have to eat shit.
Chicken.
Have you ever had a friend with a temper that was always getting fired? This is likely the reason. They called their boss a dick or they told a customer to get bent.
All right.
A lot of times you do have to pick your battles. Holding back what you want to say sometimes can pay off huge in the long run. In the moment, a lot of people, they get on their defenses. Emotions are high. Things come out. Once you say it, you can't take it back.
That's right.
If you just give it a minute, calm down, calculate your next move, it's going to work out a lot better.
What he's saying is sometimes after you fire a clip, you got to reload.
Maybe not exactly what I was thinking, but hey, it makes sense too. Number 13 is network.
Netflix is great. I love it.
Yeah, Netflix is awesome. So networking. 79% of wealthy people network 5 hours or more each month versus 16% of the poor. Wealthy people network. It's all about who you know. You never know where that next job is going to be, where that next job with a big pay raise is going to come from. Go to industry events. Go to a meetup related into your field. Go to after-work happy hour with your colleagues once in a while. Meet as many people as you can and maintain those connections.
Boom.
So we've gotten a lot of deals out of networking.
Yeah.
Networking has been huge for us.
Yep.
And we'th gotten into a lot of new industries because of the networking.
Yep.
That this
One
guy's
dot
done.
led to another dot.
That's where this guy shines. He networks like nobody else.
I shine. No, I like networking. I'll tell you why. Because you show up, you're able to express who you are, your business, your pride, your professionalism in person. Yes. And when you're dealing with people with money, when we meet with multimillionaires all the time, and it's just like meeting anybody else, of course. But when you're sitting there and they judge you, they see you're real. They see you're not fake. That you got a personality. You talk about your family. You're not just interested in doing a deal with them. You're human. Because people want emotions in their deal to a certain extent. Not a huge extent, but to a certain extent, to trust you.
Yes.
Trust is important.
Absolutely. Now, number 14 is probably going to upset both of us, but there is a lot of truth into it. Television. 67% of the wealthy watch 1 hour or less of TV every day. Less than an hour.
Yeah, I don't watch much.
Versus 23% of the poor.
I watch the news. I don't know.
Well, it's whatever it is. It's still television. Watching TV is such a time sink. Doing almost anything else would be more beneficial. You could read a book. You could make something healthy for dinner, meet a friend for a drink, go for a run, clean out the closet, sit and stare at the wall quietly. All of that is better than watching television. So, I like watching
Who's on
movies.
Dancing with the Stars?
I have no idea. And that was another thing. I mean, I just kind of picked that part out of it. But it talks about reality TV and how it's like less than 5% of the wealthy watch reality TV. It's not reality. It's garbage.
It is garbage.
So then we come down to number 15.
The 1-5.
So where we got a
1-5er?
No, we got a drum roll around here. So there we go.
And survey says
number 15 is wake up early. 44% of wealthy people wake up 3 hours before work starts versus 3% of the poor. Now this is Dave Ramsey talking. I love getting up early. Before 9 a.m., I have read the news, had lemon water and coffee, done 90 minutes of exercise, eaten a healthy breakfast, and showered. So by 9 o'clock in the morning, all of those essential things are done, and I have many hours of work ahead of me.
And the great words of the Houston area known Mattress Mac Jim McInville. Early to bed, early to rise, and always, always advertise.
Yeah, that too. Those early hours are the quietest for some people too. The family isn't up yet. There are no coworkers or ringing phones in the office. Just quiet time that you can use to be productive without interruption. Get up a little earlier and claim those hours for yourself. Read, exercise, make a cooked breakfast. Not starting your day in a hurried mess will greatly improve the rest of it.
I like that.
I have to give this list 2 thumbs up.
Yes.
There's a lot of truth behind it.
There is.
And I like it.
Yeah.
Is there anything in there that you disagreed with?
No, everything.
Except for the TV part.
Well, yes, true. But every bit of preserved chicken. No, these are facts you pull off there. Of course, there's so many millionaires out there in the world today. It's just general information, but you do what you have to do that you need to do, and you need to change. The biggest thing is make the decision, man. Make the decision. Say, you know what? My family's worth it. I'm worth it. I'm going to throw the bones, and you know what? We're going to freaking win.
Yep. Now, just let everyone know, this Sunday, if you're in the Houston or greater Houston area, tune in to AM 1070, The Answer, and listen to The Closing Table with the Money Guys.
And then we'll see you next week on the podcast. Coach Weekend. I'm Cindy Young.
And Jeff Bezos.
We're the Money Guys. We got your money.